Hi guys, welcome to Sim Captain. It is Wednesday night, March 20th, and it is the the Block Island Sound event. I'm going to fly from Philadelphia up to Providence and then end at New London, Connecticut. So this will be a two-leg flight. I'm in Philly, I'm going to get the ATIS. It's really weird, there's no control on, but yet the ATIS is up. So some other controller put the ATIS up in Philly, but that'll help.
Temperature 8. 2.9 altimeter 3028. Departing runways 9 left, 8, and 17. Landing runways 9 right, and 17 PTC operational. Operate on mode Charlie on the taxiways. Please echo hold short actions. Advise on initial contact. You have information Bravo.
Bravo, they're departing the 9s.
Philadelphia International Airport 8 is information Bravo. 23540. Land 150 at 9.
150 at 9.
13,000
10 miles. 3,000.
26,000 overcast. Temperature 8. 2.9 altimeter 3028.
30.
Departing runways 9 left, 8, and...
Okay, so we have Bravo, but there's no one to report that to. There's no air traffic control in Philly. There's no New York Center. Oh, but never strike that. Philly departure's up. 124.35. Perfect. Good evening, Philadelphia departure November 6-6 Lima X-ray, looking for IFR clearance to Providence, please.
Westland 6 Lima X-ray departure, good evening. You're clear to Providence, Philly 2 departure, directed dates then as filed. Maintain 5,000, expect flight level 210, intend departures with me. Squawk 3163.
Alright, 6-6 Lima X-ray, we're cleared as filed to Providence via the Philly 2 radar vectors ditch. Climb to 5,000, expect flight level 210 in 10 minutes. Departure with you, squawk 3163.
Westland 6 Lima X-ray, my mistake. Our squawk is a 3063. So 3063, sorry.
Okay, 6 Lima X-ray, we copy the correction. The squawk code is 3063.
6 Lima X-ray, that correct person start is at your discretion and call me for a taxi.
Okay, we're cleared to start and we'll call you for taxi. 6 Lima X-ray. Alright, pre-start master switches are on. Alternator master's on. Nav lights are on. Panel lights as required. APU is running. Avionics master's on. Fuel quantity check. Circuit breakers are checked. Doors are closed and the lights are out. Passenger briefing complete. Parking brakes are on. Rotating beacon is on. Turn the fuel pump on. Throttles are idle. We're clear left and right. Select bleed air to number 2 and engage the starter. Number 2's turning. N2's rising. ITT's rising. Fuel pressure's rising. We'll introduce fuel and we have good ignition. Bleed air is back to normal. Start switch is selected to ground. Engine is stabilizing. We'll select the bleed air over to number 1 and engage the starter. Number 1's turning. N2's rising. ITT's rising. Fuel pressure's rising. Introduce fuel. Good ignition. Bleed air back to normal. Starter switch selected to ground. We'll wait while that engine stabilizes. Get inside here. Alright, temps and pressures are looking good. Bleed air is normal. Starter switches are selected to ground. The ATIS we have, information Bravo. We have our clearance. The clock is set.
Attention, all aircraft, ATIS Zulu is now available at Wilmington, altitude 3027.
Sounds like we're going to have to check that. Transponder is set and will squawk normal. We have 3063 in the box. Flight director is on. Autopilot's preset, 250 knots below 10,000. Climb to 5,000 initially. And I want to climb at 3,000 feet per minute. Landing gear selector is down. The lights are tested. Pitot heat's on. De-ice is on. Flaps are set for takeoff. Trim is set for takeoff. Cabin alerts as required. APU will shut that down. I'll verify that's coming down and the master switch is off. And then we'll get our taxi clearance. Let's check the new ATIS.
9 your left, 8, and 17. Landing runways 9 your right, and 17 PBC operational. Operate on the
attention, all aircraft,
Advise on initial contact. You have information Bravo.
Well, I guess that has not updated, because it still is Bravo. Philly departure November 66, Lima X-rays at Atlantic Aviation with Bravo, ready to taxi.
Lima X-ray, hold for taxiway Alpha.
Alright, 6 Lima X-ray will hold short of Alpha. Alright. Taxi lights are on. Parking brakes off. We'll test the brakes. There's the left brake. There's the right brake. Vertical speed reads 0, airspeed indicator reads 0, heading indicator turns properly on both sides. Spoiler test. Full deployment.
X-ray runway 8, taxi via Alpha Delta.
Runway 8 via Alpha Delta, 6 Lima X-ray. Spoilers fully deployed, the light illuminated, we retracted them, the light extinguished. Flight controls are free and correct. Reversers, 2 unlocked, 2 in reverse, 2 stowed. Engine instruments we'll check, they look good, their temps and pressures are good. Just set a reminder bug of 92% so I don't exceed that. 92. And a departure briefing. We're going to be departing on the Philly 1, radar vectors to ditch. We're going to climb to 5,000. We're going to expect the normal procedures and standard callouts. Any failure before VR, we stay here. Any failure after VR, with the exception of fire and loss of directional control, we'll continue airborne and return here to Philadelphia. Other than that, should be an uneventful flight up to Providence, Rhode Island. That will conclude our departure briefing. Nav radios are set. Comm radios are set. Departures with him. Transponder is normal. 3063 check. Pitot heat on. De-ice on.
X-ray, approach turn left. Correction, turn right, heading 115. Philly wind 150 at 9. Runway 8, cleared for takeoff.
Okay, we'll fly a heading of 115, runway 8. We're clear for takeoff, 66 Lima X-ray. Pitot heat's on, de-ice is on, yaw damp is off. Starter switches are set to continuous. Fuel pump is on, flaps are set for takeoff, trim is set for takeoff. We'll note the time and fuel. Check the landing threshold for landing aircraft. Aircraft do not land on runway 8 at Philly because it comes over the terminal building. Taxi lights are off, landing lights and strobe lights are on. That is the lineup checklist. Next will be after takeoff. Alright, this is runway 8. I'm bringing it up 40%. Engines, get them synced up. Temps, pressures look good. Everything's in the green. We'll advance to takeoff power. I'm off the brakes. Takeoff power is set. And airspeed's alive 2 times. 80 knots, cross check. We'll continue. V1, VR. And positive rate. Gear up. Gear up selected. Gears in transit.
This one, 6 Lima, exterior contact. Climb maintain 12,000.
Alright, climb maintain 12,000, 6 Lima X-ray. Alright, we're turning to a heading of 115. Yaw damp on. Stable climb up to 12. Hold that heading. 400 above the ground. Flaps are coming up.
Turn right heading 120, enable direct ditch.
Heading a 120 and we're cleared direct to ditch. 66 Lima X-ray. After takeoff checks. Gears up, lights are out, flaps are retracted and indicated. Yaw damp is on, autopilot is checked and set. Altimeter is the local setting. And as we climb through 5,000 feet, I can turn the pumps off. Here comes 5,000, pumps are off. Above 10, the landing lights will come off. I want to keep it below 250 knots here. Alright, we are going direct to ditch, which is 17 miles ahead of us. And we're through 7,000. Then what he'll do is hand us off to New York Center. I don't know if they're online though. They weren't last I checked.
First one, 6 Lima, X-ray lead stand is offline. Frequency systems approved. Services terminated. Have a good flight.
Alright, 66 Lima X-ray, thanks a lot. We'll talk to you next time. Alright, and that's the end of his services. We'll go to Unicom, which is 122.8. And I filed for higher than 21. I don't know why that was what my clearance was for. Yeah, 27. So I'm going to climb to flight level 270. And we are above 10, so I'm going to start to accelerate, and I can turn the landing lights off. And we can put the star switches to flight. Next is transition altitude, which is 180 for the altimeter to be set to standard of 292. Well, unfortunately, we don't have New York Center on, which would be the only gap we would have to make this a seamless and fully controlled flight through this event. I'm just starting in Philly because that's my home airport and where I was with the aircraft last. So we'll fly up to Providence and then simulate we're dropping off passengers and reposition to New London, Connecticut, which will be a very short flight. Those two cities, Providence and New London, are very close together. All right, we're crossing ditch right now, climbing through 17,000, 1,000 feet to go to transition altitude. And we are accelerating. Everything is looking good. In fact, I'll trim that down a little bit so we can even go a little faster. And here comes 18,000 feet, and we'll set the altimeter to 29 or 9 or 2. Crossing Jimmy, going to Wavy. Coming up to our cruising altitude of flight level 270. Probably can't make it out, but this is the end of New Jersey. This little bright spot, that's Manhattan, and here's Long Island. Cruising altitude, we'll check our fuel. Fuel pump is off. Altimeter is standard. Engine instruments are checked. Everything's in the green. Temps and pressures are good. Seatbelt sign is required in en route weather, which is we have good weather en route. Boston Center. We can call Boston when we're at Beam JFK Airport, so that's about where their airspace begins. Probably about another 20 miles.
Air 903 radar contact 4 miles east of the Nantucket Airport. Maintain VFR, tape altimeter 3036. 3036 will maintain VFR for KR 936.
While we're en route, we probably can pick up the Providence ATIS from here.
And center control
124.2.
Sorry, 3 Delta Mike, thanks. Straight in, correct? That's VFR number 1. Thanks, 1. See if we load up for VFR.
There is a
Please make all runway assignments. Advise ISO contact to have information India.
India.
Providence Airport information India. 23510. Run 220 at 10. Visibility 10. View clouds at 5,000. 25,000 Groton. Temperature 4. Dew point -3. Altimeter 3033. Visual approach runway 23 in use. Surface radar in use. Transponder use required. Motion to landing. Tango run up path closed. Please make all runway assignments. Advise ISO contact you have information India.
Okay, we'll expect runway 23. They said the visual 23 in the ATIS. But we will bring up the, oops, that wasn't it, the ILS approach plate. The frequency will be 109.3. Approach course will be 227. So I'll set that 227. Providence VOR is 115.6. That number 2. We're picking that up. We're 138 miles out. Should find out the Hampton VOR frequency. It's not on the list yet. Here's our position. I have another 7 miles and I can give him a call. And we will be parking at North Star Aviation, which is a north ramp. We're going to be arriving on the Jordan to arrival. We need to cross Jordan at 11,000. Let's call Boston.
And 1229, cross 115 left at November.
Cross runway 15 right, and then on to November contact, there you go.
Delta 320, leaving my airspace. Cleveland Center's close. Radar service terminated. Frequency changes. Good. Have a good night.
All the Unicom Delta 320, thanks for exclamation. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Air Transat 1780, descend and maintain, level 260.
260 after the 1780.
Good evening, Boston Center, November 6 Lima X-ray. We're checking in, flight level 270, crossed Wavy.
No, 66 Lima X-ray, Boston Center, good evening, squawk 4732.
4730, 66 Lima X-ray. 4730. Oh,
4732.
Correction, 4732 for 66 Lima X-ray. Flashing.
Delta 1965, someone's heading 250, it's on the localizer.
Left heading 250, join the localizer for runway 22 left for Delta 1965.
No, 66 Lima X-ray, cross Jordan at 11,000, Providence, altimeter 3033.
We will cross Jordan at 11,000, 66 Lima X-ray.
Boston Center, Delta 335, best taxi with information, Charlie.
Delta 1965, you're over Wayne, cleared ILS, runway 22 left.
Clear ILS 22 left approach for Delta 1965.
And 1229, wind 210 at 16, runway 22 right, cleared for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 22 right, traffic.
So we're cleared across Jordan at 11,000, and that is in 66 miles. So I will start down, 11,000.
Cross, runway 15 right, hold short, runway 15.
Taxi runway 22 right to Echo Bravo November, cross runway 22.
Alright, so we're beginning our descent.
Right, hold short, runway, sorry, what's that runway?
15 left.
15 left, 335.
Boston Center, Sherway 163, level 350. There's 163, Boston Center, good. Delta 2167, Boston Center, are you on frequency? Delta 1965, wind 210 at 16, 182 left, right on.
Chris Lander, runway 22 left, Delta 1965.
FedEx 410 Heavy, someone heading 340, descend and maintain 3,000.
340, 3,000.
Air Transat 1780, contact Montreal Center, 128.77.
Montreal Center, 128.770, thank you for service, see you next time.
Delta 21678, descending via the port level, sorry.
Delta 2167, Boston Center, squawk 47.
I was walking 4727, Delta 2167.
FedEx 410 Heavy, select heading 250, it's on the local web.
On the left 250, it's runway right, that's a perfect.
Delta 2167, radar contact 26 miles southwest of Texas, descend and maintain, level 2.
Delta 230.
Boston, cancel, can 1229, climbing 1,500.
Cancel 29, thanks, radar contact, climb and maintain, 14,000.
4,000 to cancel 29.
410 Heavy, 6 miles from lane, maintain 3,000, still established on the localizer, cleared ILS.
ILS 22 left, 410, I'll be green, thank you, 1000.
And welcome to the countdown. I'll be looking to VFR 2, plus VFR flight following, looking at 8, moving 49.
November 6th, Delta, Boston, welcome back. You said 4,500, this is for VFR 2, is that correct? Yes. Hey, you're looking for flight following as well? Correct. November 6-2, Delta Mike. CRB VFR 2 is approved, runway 24, taxi Charlie Echo, cross runway 1.
Charlie Echo, cross runway 1, November 6-2, Delta Mike.
November 6-2, Delta Mike, verify cross runway 1 and 5.
And cross runway 1. Are we getting a spot or maybe?
I'll get that. Providence 163, cross use at available 27.
Officer Cherokee 40019.
Providence 163, cross use at available 27.
News at level 270, Spirit 163.
Delta 1965, welcome to Boston. Back to the gate, hit Charlie, left on Bravo, then right on Kilo, cross runway.
Going via Charlie, left on Bravo, then right on Kilo, and crossing runway 22, right for Delta 1965. Thank you for your help. Have a good evening.
Cherokee 4019 Boston Center, good evening. New Bradley altimeter 30.
Below 18. Altimeter. Crew is
66 Lima X-Ray. Contact Providence approach 125.75 Avenue.
Providence approach on 125.75, 6 Lima X-ray. We're switching. Good evening.
Cancel 29.
All right. With the altimeter is 3033, and that is checked. We have India. Good evening, Providence approach November 66 Lima X-rays with you, descending through 16.5 for Jordan at 11,000 crossing Hampton, and we have India.
X-ray, crossing approach again, leaving Providence, 3033. To maintain 6,000 depart to meet, heading 050.
All right, down to 6,000, and we'll depart Mink on a heading of 050 for 66 Lima X-ray. All right, so we have instructions now down to 6,000, and cross Mink on a heading of 050. 050, check. Alright. To our descent in range checklist. Passenger briefing complete, sterile cockpit, cabin alerts as required, altimeters the local setting. Nav instruments checked and set. Flight instruments checked. When we descend below 10,000 feet, we'll turn the landing lights on, put the starter switches to continuous. And we need to slow down to go below 10,000 feet. We're crossing Jordan.
6 with X-ray information, India, for your Providence.
66 Lima X-ray, we have India.
Thank you.
And he must not have heard me report it to him on the first call. We're descending below 10,000. We'll put the landing lights on. Put the marker beacon on. We have ATIS India. Primary nav aid is set and identified. I can identify this is the Providence VR, which is 40 miles away. That is Providence identified. The glide slope crossing altitude is going to be 2,200 feet. The minimum decision height is 200 feet. The missed approach review is a climb to 700, then a climbing right turn to 2,500 on a heading of 350, and the Providence VOR DME radial 321 to Frosty intersection 23.5 DME and hold. So that's a climb to 700, then climbing right turn 2,500, heading 350 to Providence, radio 321 to Frosty intersection 23.5 DME and hold. Final approach chart is reviewed. 16 miles to Mink. Next is the before landing checklist. We're going to be doing the approach for runway 23. We're leveling at 6.
Approach Cherokee 40019er, level 3,500. About 3 west of Madison VR. Cherokee 0019er, Providence approach, good evening, ground altimeter 3033. Information on system. Alright, 3033, and we have Oscar. Air 67 X-ray contact probable approach 133.85.
Approach on 133.85 for 6 Lima X-ray. We're switching. Good night. Good evening, Providence approach, 66 Lima X-ray is with you, 6,000. We'll be departing Mink on a heading of 050, and we have India.
Providence departure, Bear 149er, Papa X-ray, calling through 1000.
Bear 149er, Papa X-ray, Providence, departure radar contact. Maintain VFR at or below 2,500.
Maintain VFR at or below 2,500, Bear 149er, Papa X-ray.
Bear 66 Lima X-ray, Providence, approach, good evening at 3033, expect visual approach runway 23, say last sign heading.
We will expect the visual, runway 23, we're assigned 050 heading.
Switch it quickly, X-ray, roger.
So this basically puts us on a extended downwind for runway 23.
Coordinator Papa X-ray, VFR on course approved.
Bear 149er, Papa X-ray, roger.
Bear 149er, Papa
There's
X-ray,
the airport.
flying through the Charlie's approved. We're going to be leaving the Providence class Charlie airspace to the west. Resource terminates, walk, and maintain VFR on the frequency screen.
Squawk VFR frequency to approve, Bear 149er, Papa X-ray.
There's a 16 X-ray, just to maintain 4,000.
Alright, we're out of 6 for 4, 6 Lima X-ray. I'm going to need the airport chart next. Here we go. So we're going to land runway 23. We're going to exit to the right. And I guess we'll expect to taxi Mike all the way back to the general aviation. What was it called again? North Star, I think? Correct, North Star. The localizer is alive and the glide slope's alive. You know, this is the thing. I was told by the ATIS to expect the visual. Then approach tells me to expect the visual. But they vector me all the way out and turn me and come bring me all the way back as if I'm going to be flying the ILS. Which I don't mind if I'm flying the ILS, but if you're doing the visual, it's really to be a shortcut and to keep it tighter to the airport. I don't mean to complain, but I just feel like, you know, if I'm flying the visual, he could have brought me a lot closer to the airport and kept it a lot tighter than, I mean, I'm 12 miles downwind right now. That's the airport way behind me. And I'm watching, it's because I'm heading 310, 6 Lima X-ray. And I'm watching that I'm flying, you know, the glide slope is climbing, so he's making... Correction, 270 on the heading, 6 Lima X-ray. And that's to put me out there for the ILS.
Providence departure, Cessna 4635 Kilo with you, leaving 900 for 2000.
And this complaint, by the way, is almost universal
35 Kilo, departure
to every controller on that sim. They all do the same thing. If they're going to give you the visual, they still vector you out as if you're flying the ILS.
And remember 35 Kilo is line heading 250.
Because I am currently on a 15-mile base leg. But not even really, because he's not even keeping it square. He's got me doing like a 45-degree into the approach course.
6 Lima X-ray, just maintain 3000.
Down to 3000, 6 Lima X-ray.
Mr. 6 Lima X-ray, the Providence Airport will be 11 o'clock and 9 miles per on site.
S66 Lima X-ray, we have the airport in sight.
Mr. 6 Lima X-ray, clear visual approach runway 23, contact Providence Tower 10.7.
Clear for the visual, runway 23, Providence Tower on 120.7, 66 Lima X-ray, thanks. I'm slowing down.
Attention aircraft,
Providence information, Juliet current, altimeter 3034.
Hey, good evening, Providence Tower 66, Lima X-rays with you on the visual 23. We're about 8.5 miles out. All right, speed checks 10 degrees.
Number 66, Lima X-ray, Providence Tower, wind 190 at 6, runway 23, clear line.
Runway 23, we're clear to land, 66 Lima X-ray. All right, speed checks, I'm gonna put the gear down, because I need the drag. Alright, gear is down, 3 green lights, we'll put 20 degrees out.
86 Providence Tower, winds 190 at 6, runway 23, clear for takeoff, traffic is 6.5 miles final.
That's us. Try and give him a little bit more time. I want to fly the localizer.
Number 66 Lima X-ray, one departure prior to arrival.
Alright, 66 Lima X-ray, copy 1 departure prior to our arrival. Alright, speed checks, full flaps. Alright, before landing, fuel pumps on, landing lights are on, altimeter is the local setting, spoilers are armed, flaps as required. Landing checklist, gear is down, 3 green lights, flaps are full. We're clear to land, yaw damp is off, autopilot, auto throttle, and flight director to follow. And we are established.
American 1866,
flight director off.
60 in contact departure, so long.
Don't sink.
Alright, I'm going to kill the autopilot, ham fly it the rest of the way, and auto throttles are done.
Don't sink.
Alright, we are cleared to land, and the departing aircraft is off and away. Final checks, gear, flaps, autopilot, starter switches. Here comes 100 above. Minimums, landing. Now we're a little below the glide slope. There we go, ref sync at 4. Runway's made, throttles are idle. Touchdown, spoilers deployed. Reversers are out. 100 knots. $80 knots. There's 60 knots. Reversers are stowed. Clear on Tango.
Number 66 Lima X-ray, contact ground point, enter slow.
Ground point 9er, 6 Lima X-ray, thanks. Alright, 121.9. We don't have Mike. Providence ground, 66 Lima X-ray, we're clear runway 23 taxi to North Star Aviation, and we do not have Mike. Spoilers retracted.
November 66 Lima X-ray Providence ground. Roger. Taxi departing via Tango. November Victor to the ramp, Mission Cross runway 16.
November. Okay, 66 Lima X-ray, we're going to be taxiing to North Star, Tango, and Victor, clear to cross 34. I don't see how there's a November. There's a factor in that. We do cross it, but we're not on it. I know what he meant. Alright, day after landing check, spoilers are retracted, flaps are coming up, landing lights are off, strobe lights are off, marker beacon is off, fuel pump is off, de-ice and pitot heat are off, and we'll bring the APU up.
Providence ground,
Verify the APU is powering on.
On the northwest ramp with Julia, request clearance IFR to Teterboro.
November 12477 Providence ground. You're cleared to the Teterboro Airport. We have radar vectors Putnam.
Star switches
And
are
as
off.
filed. Maintain 2000. Expect 6000. 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency is 133.85. Walk 5550.
Carrier 12477 is cleared to Teterboro via radar vectors Putnam, then as filed. Climb maintain 2000, expect 6010. Departure on 133.85, squawk 5550.
Okay, then 477 readback is correct. Runway 23, call for taxi.
We'll call for taxi for 23, Caravan 12477.
Alright, so this is a long taxi. I'll speed this up a little bit. We're clear to cross 3-4, but we'll look left, we'll look right, clear to cross. Darn that thing. I gotta fix that somehow. Alright. Come up here into the North Star ramp. Sure where I should park. I want to park over here to the right. As we're in the non-movement area, I will squawk standby. And we are going to continue this flight with a hop over to New London, Connecticut. But we are going to be simulating dropping a passenger off, so we're going to bring her to a stop, put the parking brakes on, fuel cutoff 1 and 2. Taxi lights are off, beacons off. And we will turn around in just a moment. I'm just going to do my flight planning. Alright, we're going to continue on to New London, simulating that our passengers have deplaned and we're repositioning. Let's get our clearance. And ground. At Providence, ground, good evening. 66 Lima X-ray looking for IFR over to New London.
November 66 Lima X-ray Providence ground. You're cleared to the Groton Airport. The overture is direct. Maintain 4,000. Expect 8,000. 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency is 133.85. Walk 5556.
Okay, 66 Lima X-ray, we're cleared as filed over to New London via direct. We'll climb to 4,000, expect 8,000 in 10 minutes. Departure on 133.85, squawk 5556.
Number 66 Lima X-ray, readback is correct. Expect runway 23 and call for taxi.
We will expect 23 and we'll call you for taxi, 66 Lima X-ray. Alright, runway 23. We'll call him for taxi. We'll get the engine started back up. Make this as quick as I can. The master switches are all still on. The APU is running. We'll turn the beacon back on. Whoops. Turn it on. Alternator master is on. Nav lights. How does that always happen that a page comes off of this? So frustrating. Okay. Master alternator nav, panel lights, APU, avionics, fuels check, circuit breakers check, doors are closed. There are no passengers. Parking brake is on, the light is on, the rotating beacon's on, the fuel pump is on. Throttles are idle. We're clear left and right. Bleed air select number 2, starter engaged.
Comanche 3024, Mike, Providence ground, good evening. You can tag it to the northeast ramp via Mike Bravo, and you can cross runway 16.
I need to get the ATIS.
East ramp,
Bravo, 510. Left 200 at 6. Visibility 10. Few clouds at 5,000. 5,000 broken. Temperature 3.
Engine stabilizing.
Altimeter 3034.
Temps and pressures look good.
Approach runway 23 in use. Surface radar
over number 1.
Use required. Noses to landing. Tango run-up pad closed. Respect all runway assignments. Upon initial contact, you have information, Juliet.
Juliet.
Alright,
number 1's turning.
Juliet.
2's rising.
510. Ramp 20.
ITT's rising, fuel pressure's rising, introduce fuel. Good ignition. Bleed air normal.
5,000 broken. Temperature 3. Dew point -2. Altimeter 3034.
3034.
Approach runway 23 in use.
Already know that. And we have Juliet. Alright.
Use required.
And we got the engine started. Temps and pressures are good. Everything is green. Star switches are selected to ground. Bleed air is normal. ATIS we have. Juliet. Clearance delivery we have. Clock is set. Transponder is set. 5556 will squawk normal. Flight director's on. Autopilot is preset 250 knots below 10. He wants us to climb to 4,000. Gear selector is down. Lights are tested. Let's go inside the airplane so it's not so loud. Pitot heat's on. De-ice is on. Flaps are set for takeoff. Trim is set for takeoff. Cabin alerts are on. APU will shut that down. And we will call for taxi. And Providence, ground 66 Lima X-ray North Star, we're ready to taxi with Juliet.
November 66 Lima X-ray, runway 23. Taxi via Bravo, November, Mike Alpha.
I'll pull up the airport chart. I might have a problem with that. I don't think I have taxi with Mike. 66 Lima X-ray, my scenery, I don't have taxiway mic.
Remember 66 Lima X-ray, Roger.
Alright.
You can cross the ramp there and taxi Alpha after runway 23.
Alright, we'll cross the ramp Alpha to 236 Lima X-ray, thanks.
Yes, sorry about that, I forgot.
Old scenery, sorry. Alright, we're cleared to taxi. Taxi lights are on, brakes are released. We'll throttle up and get rolling. We'll test the left brake. We'll test the right brake. And we know they're working because we just landed. Vertical speed reads 0, airspeed indicator reads 0, heading indicators turn properly on both sides. We're going to do a spoiler deployment. Spoilers are deployed fully. Light illuminates, will retract. Light extinguishes.
Air France 555.
Reversers, 2 unlocked, 2 in reverse, and 2 stowed.
And monitor the street.
Flight controls are still free and correct. Engine instruments are checked, they're all in the green. Departure briefing. We're going to depart runway 23, standard callouts. As usual, failures before VR keep us here. Failures after VR, we go airborne and we return here to Providence. We're going to climb the 4,000 and it's via direct. Altimeter is the current setting. Pitot heat's on, de-ice is on, yaw damp's off. Star switches are set to continuous. Check. Fuel pump on. Flap set for takeoff. Trim set for takeoff. Note time and fuel. Lineup checks next. Alright, here's runway 23. I want to stop here. Set the brakes. And 6 Lima X-rays holding short at 23.
And out of number 66 Lima X-ray, we can contact tower now 120.7.
Over to tower 120.7. Thanks. 6 Lima X-ray. Good night.
Good night, we'll see you.
I'll stop Halo.
And looks like there's an airplane inbound.
12 Providence Tower. Fly heading 046. I'm going to extend your downwind.
Wind 046.
Good evening, Providence Tower 66 Lima X-ray holding short of runway 23. We're ready for departure. Taxi light should be off.
Number 66 Lima X-ray, Providence Tower.
Yes, I know you are. What do you want me to do? Continue holding, I imagine?
Mercy 12, remain southeast of the runway 23 extended center line, landing at the ramp will be at your own risk.
Alright, southeast of the 23 extended center line, landing at the ramp.
There's the airplane on final, it looks like. It's hard to tell. Must be on final. There are lots of airplanes around. That's nice. Nice and busy. I enjoy that. I can zoom in and see what this guy's doing. Yeah, there's traffic on short final. Second, I want to pull up the New London Airport.
I was after 12 traffic, Let's see, it'll be a 2 o'clock mile and a half on final runway 23 reporting set.
London.
Oh, yeah, traffic.
Mystic
Number
Jet.
212, remain visual separation, follow the aircraft and landing at the ramp of the owners. Okay, visual step, we'll follow them landing at the ramp of the owners.
11085. Is the VOR there? How's this traffic? Landed? Oh, he's right there. Why is he so slow?
Number 709, Papa Romeo, Providence Tower, you up?
Again, for November 9 to Papa Romeo.
And remember, 9 Papa Romeo, enter a right down runway 23, I'll call your base.
Right downwind, runway 23, waiting for their base, call for base, November 9 to Papa Romeo, thank you. Thank you.
Remember, 66 Lima X-ray, runway 23, line up and wait.
Runway 23, line up and wait, 66 Lima X-ray. Alright, landing lights and strobe lights, whoops, throttle.
Providence Tower, Cherokee 40019, we're about a 4 mile length, please, 23.
The helicopter.
40019 Providence Tower, traffic is 2 o'clock, 2.5 miles, Cessna 172, 600 feet reporting site.
What was departure's frequency? 13385.
We have a traffic in sight, Cherokee 019.
Cherokee 019.
This is runway 23.
Runway 23, number 3.
Alright, number 3 for the field, Cherokee 019.
Remember 66 Lima X-ray on departure fly heading 250, runway 23, clear for takeoff.
Heading 250, runway 23, we're clear for takeoff, 66 Lima X-ray. Alright, 250 on the heading, 23, we're clear for takeoff. Bring the engines up to 40% synced. Temps and pressures look good, we're off the brakes. We'll advance to takeoff power.
Number 87 Lima Alpha, taxi via
Takeoff
Charlie,
power set.
Charlie 1, runway 34, hold short, runway 23.
Airspeed's alive 2 times.
Charlie 1, hold short, 23.
There's 80 knots, we'll cross check. Engines are good, we continue. V1, VR. Positive rate. Gear up. Gear up selected.
Remember, 40019, proceed direct numbers, runway 23, clear line.
Gears up. We're going to turn to a heading of 250. 400 above the ground. Flaps are coming up.
66 Lima X-ray, contact pressure swell.
66 Lima X-ray, we're switching. Good night. Yaw damps on.
359 to 7.
Autopilot up to 4. 250 heading.
Remember 2473 Golf, proceed direct to airport.
Providence departure 66 Lima X-ray. We're climbing through 3,400 for 4,000 on a 250 heading.
66 Lima X-ray. Providence departure radar contact, proceed direct ground, climb maintain 8,000.
Alright, direct to Groton up to 8,000, 6 Lima X-ray. direct to GON. No. What is the VOR? It's at the airport. Yeah, it's GON. Huh. I don't know why it doesn't do that. Maybe... Whoa. Oh, exit out of this. Oops. There we go. Direct.
Helicopter 2.
And luckily that is the heading we're on. Boy, that took way too long to figure that out.
The ramp will be at your own risk if I airborne.
28 miles, 6 minutes.
Departure through wave 1.
Japan 2359, turn right heading 17 to maintain 3000.
Already after takeoff checks, gears up, lights are out, flaps are retracted and indicated. Yaw damp is on, autopilot is checked and set. Altimeter is the local setting. Through 5,000 we can turn the pump off. We will not be going above 10, so we will keep the landing lights on and we will keep the starter switches engaged. And there's no transition altitude. Cruise checklist. Alright. Get the ATIS in New London. They call it Groton, or however you say it.
Approach after 20309, airborne 900.
127.0.
That was 20309, radar contact.
Filled this pad up today.
Helicopter
Little space on the
20309,
front.
confirm you are requesting flight on the ground. 5 contact, information Quebec. Ground confirmation Quebec, 0056 to the letter, wind 2108, visibility 10, sky clear. Temperature 4, 2.3, altimeter 3034, dispersion from 23 meters, speed for aircraft, direction of flight, 2 cleared, follow and hold your instructions at a 5 altitude, 5 contact, information Quebec. Ground confirmation Quebec, 0056 to the letter, wind 2108, visibility 10, sky clear. Temperature 4, 2.3, altimeter 3034, dispersion from 23 meters, speed for aircraft, direction of flight. That card follow and hold your instructions at a 5 altitude. 500 contact, information Quebec.
Quebec, and runway
Quebec.
23 is in use. That's what I was trying to find out. And we're leveling off at 8. We are 18 miles to the airport. Runway 23.
Japan 2359.
VOR for runway 23 approach. 11085 is the frequency. And the approach course is
2359.
242.
2000. My MVO
So I'll put that in 242.
100. Your left side altitude is 3000 feet.
Alright, cruise, fuel checked, fuel pumps off, altimeter's local setting. Engine instruments are checked, temps and pressure is good. Everything's
Contact Providence approach 125.75.
approach on 125.75 for 6 Lima X-ray. We're switching. Good night. And en route weather.
Inside car top, 0309.
Providence approach November 66 Lima X-ray, checking in at 8,000 direct Groton.
Counter 6 Lima X-ray, they are sir, fly heading 310 vectors to descent, to maintain 5,000. Direction to maintain 6,000.
Alright, heading 310 and down to 6,000, 66 Lima X-ray.
Challenger 23, search base turn, please.
Alright, so we're already saying this aircraft around.
Sorry, we're showing our base.
Nav instruments set.
There's 66 for the I'm going to allow traffic to be at 172 at your 11 o'clock for 6 miles at 5,000 for the traffic site.
66 Lima X-ray, we have that traffic in sight.
This is National maintain visual separation.
We'll maintain visual separation, 6 Lima X-ray. Star switches are still continuous, landing lights are still on. ATIS we have, which was Quebec. Primary nav aid is set and identified, so we gotta identify this. Where's that traffic? Oh, there he is. Passing behind him.
Challenger 23, flighting 240.
Left to 240 with Challenger 23.
Alright, that is Groton identified. Glide slope, well, there is no glide slope.
6 Lima X-ray, flighting 070, reduce speed to 200.
Alright, 070 on the heading and slow to 200, 66 Lima X-ray. 070. Six Lima X-ray, verify that heading, please.
6 Lima X-ray, heading 070.
Okay, that's weird. Alright, 070, 6 Lima X-ray.
Challenger 23, your field is now 12 o'clock, 8 miles before the airport site.
Field is in sight for Challenger 23.
Challenger 23, clear vision for Challenger 23, maintain 190 knots, still 5 mile, final contact, tower 1.
Marker beacon, we'll turn that on.
Clear for the
decision height. Well, crossing altitude 2000, decision height is 700 feet.
6 Lima X-ray, fighting 140.
140 on the heading, 6 Lima X-ray. Speed checks, I'm going to put 10 degrees of flaps out. Missed approach. Missed approach is climbing left turn to 2000 via the Groton VOR radial 207 to Rince intersection 5.6 DME and hold.
X-ray to maintain 3000.
We're out of 6 for 3, 6 Lima X-ray.
Fast 635 kilo contact from approach 133.85. Yeah.
And we're going to turn the fuel pump back on.
635 kilo contact from approach 133.85.
We're doing the approach for runway 23. Okay.
There's 66 Lima X-ray, flighting 100, air correction 200 now.
200 on the heading, 6 Lima X-ray.
X-ray to maintain 2000.
Down to 2000, 6 Lima X-ray. The airport should be...
On the rollout, traffic will be a Challenger at 12 o'clock for 6 miles until better for the traffic.
Yeah, 66 Lima X-ray, I have that traffic ahead.
There's 66 Lima X-ray, maintain visual separation from the Challenger. Follow him through visual approach for runway 23. Maintain 180 knots to the left until 5 mile final.
Alright, 66 Lima X-ray will maintain visual separation. We're clear for the visual runway 23 and we'll maintain slower than 180 knots.
Track 837, traffic 12 o'clock, 5 miles. Stage 4,300 for the traffic site.
Alright, speed checks, gear down.
Roger, copy, look it.
I don't want Do that. Gears down, 3 green. Go 20 degrees flaps.
That's 35 kilo, go ahead.
Yeah, 35 kilo, contact Providence, approach 133.85.
133.85, remember 35 kilo, good night.
Okay.
Skyhawk 837, have the traffic.
Skyhawk 837, partially turbulence, left track.
Roger.
Remain 318, contact Providence, approach 133.85. Which is 3.85 for 13, thank you.
Speed checks, full flaps.
66 room X-ray, contact the tower now, 125.6.
Say frequency again for 6 Lima X-ray. 1356.
6 room X-ray, 125.6.
Thank you. Tower on 125.6, 6 Lima X-ray. So long, thanks.
Yep. Yeah, 37, that's right.
Groton Tower, November 66 Lima X-rays with the visual runway 23.
Number 66 Lima X-ray, Groton Tower, good evening. The wind 2108, runway 23, clear to land.
Runway 23, we're clear to land, 66 Lima X-ray.
Challenger 23, contact ground point 65.
Grounds 65. Fuel pumps on, landing lights are on. Altimeters are local settings. Spoilers are armed, flaps are armed. Gear down, 3 green lights, flaps are full, we're clear to land. Yaw damp off, autopilot, flight director, and auto throttles. Auto throttles are off, and so is the autopilot. We are clear to land. I've never been to this airport before. Alright, we're landing. Alright, touchdown. Spoilers are deployed. Reversers are out. And there's 100 knots. 80 knots, 60 knots, and 40 knots. Reverser stowed. I'm going to roll to the end. Kill that pump. Drives me crazy.
Tower Guard Copter 20309, about 6 miles northeast, 1,700. Inbound to land. We can head straight to the guard ramp if that works for you.
Number 6 Lima X-ray, contact ground 121.65, take care.
Alright, over to ground on 12165, 6 Lima X-ray. Good night, thanks. Groton ground, November 66 Lima X-ray. We're clear, runway 23 down at the end. We're going to Mystic Jet.
November 66 Lima X-ray, ground. Welcome to Groton. Taxi into the FBO via straight ahead on Charlie, cross runway 23.
Alright, into Mystic straight ahead on Charlie, cross 33, 6 Lima X-ray, thanks. Alright, after landing, spoilers retracted, flaps are coming up, landing lights are off, strobe lights are off, taxi lights are on, marker beacon is off, fuel pump is off, pitot heat and de-ice are off, and the APU will bring up, but we're not going to turn on the APU because this will be our final shutdown. Alright, we're cleared across 3-3, left, right, we're clear. We're going to the Mystic jet ramp. Turn that off, and turn that off. Star switch is off. We're gonna pull in right here into this parking space. And this will conclude our arrival into Groton, New London, Connecticut, from Providence on this Wednesday Block Island, what was it, Block Island Sound event. Parking brake is set, the light is on, fuel cutoff 1 and 2, taxi lights are off, beacon is off, rotating beacons off, transponders on standby, nav lights off, APU is off, GPS is off, alternator master is off, avionics and master battery. Well, thanks for coming along. Look at the helicopter landing in front of us. Hope you like and subscribe, and until next time, happy landings.